Look at that sight. Atlanta's Paradise Island in the Bahamas. Welcome to the Big 3 playoffs, presented by Verizon. This is the dream of Cube and these founders to get this to this point on a lot of preparation. We have a couple of playoff games, and we start with the three-headed monsters up against the triplets. Two playoff games to show you. We started with 12 teams, and these are the four that have survived to this point. Following our first game, it'll be game number 2. It'll be Trilogy and Tri-State. And, of course, the championship on Saturday on CBS. If you're watching our pregame, you know that Junkanoo Band has come to play, literally. Setting the flavor, and I love it, with the Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman. I'm Lisa Byington, and this is what these players, and I said the founders, the creators of this league have hoped for to get to this point. They're dangling that carrot to get to the Bahamas, and here we are.
It's a pretty big carrot, and that carrot is worth a lot of dough. The bag is big, $250,000 to the winning team. But more importantly, just to be able to win a championship, a lot of these guys have never experienced that. Winning is hard. And in the Bahamas, you saw the pomp and circumstance. This is a big day, not only for the league, but for all four teams.
It's a big day here for the triplets as well, trying to repeat. Lisa Leslie, the head coach, they're the 2019 Big 3 champions. Because of that, they've returned their same roster. Look at how they shoot the three. 51 made in the regular season, but look at how they finished the year, 1-2 after a 5-0 start. Is that a concern for you?
Well, it's a concern because teams are starting to figure out how they want to strategize to take Joe Johnson out of the mix. So you're going to live and die by the three, but those guys have to be ready to catch his passes. Joe's a really good passer, by the way. He averages about 3.5 assists a game. He did it in the NBA. He's crushing it in the Big 3. He's just one heck of a basketball player, and kudos to him.
You mentioned the triplets, the three-point shooting, 51. That's the most in the Big 3 this year. They've also attempted the most. There's their shooting percentage in wins versus losses for the triplets, so keep an eye on that here today. And they take on the three-headed monsters, and their road to the Bahamas, led, of course, by the glove, Gary Payton, the 4th playoff appearance. And Nancy, he's trying to get over the hump and maybe win a championship this year.
Well, he's working hard at this. He's the new head basketball coach at Lincoln University in his hometown of Oakland, but he got younger with Kevin Murphy. He is a stud of studs. You know what they told me yesterday is they told this young man, when you come in here, you take over this basketball team. That's what Rashard Lewis, that's what Reggie Evans, that's what Mahmoud said to him. Do not defer to us. Do your thing.
And Reggie Evans, arguably the best rebounder so far in Big 3 history.
He's unbelievable. I mean, this is another guy that works out year-long, works out with his children. He is a stud. He is just a student of the game, and he is physical. Other players look at the schedule and go, oh my gosh, I got to deal with him.
Coaches, players, those are the nightmares. The starting lineup presented by PNC Bank. You've got Lewis and Evans. Abdul-Rauf have been with this team since 2017. And with the triplets, I know Moon wants to play better than he did in the last game of the regular season against Tri-State. Nancy, who is your PNC overdraft protection player to watch?
Obviously, for the triplets, it has to be Joe Johnson. And for the three-headed monsters, Reggie Evans has to dominate the game to start.
John Sally standing by with Lisa Leslie.
All right. Okay. So, Coach, this is it.
This is it. I play chess, John. I don't know if I told you I used to play chess in high school. It's a chess match right now, and I'm ready. We got to make the right moves, and I got to make the good decisions and make sure I have the best players on the floor. We got to get back to the championship. We want another ring just like this. Starts right now.
Nothing else to say. Good luck, Coach.
Drop the mic.
Lisa Leslie bringing the hardware. I love it. The rules of the Big 3 are presented by Verizon. Again, for maybe first-time viewers, you got to know it's the first team to 50 that wins it. Halftime comes When you get to 25 points, you got to win by 2. No game clock, a 14-second shot clock. Free throws, 1 shot. Depending on where the ball and the shot was taken, determines if it's a 2-point, 3-point, or 4-point shot. And of course, that 4-point shot's 30 feet away from the basket. And we are underway here between the Triplets and the three-headed monsters. And a traveling call out of the gates on the first possession.
Well, this is an interesting lineup for the Triplets. They're trying to match up bigger with Reggie Evans, and Jefferson has to set his feet.
Gennaro Pargo, Al Jefferson, as well as Joe Johnson getting the start. You know, Lisa Leslie had said in the last game of the regular season, that was on me. I didn't make the right coaching moves, and so maybe this is her solution as Pargo hits it from the corner.
Well, that's where Pargo really makes a living for this team. He likes the left side of the floor. Joe likes the right side of the floor.
And Kevin Murphy misses her first attempt. Murphy, 31 years old. Mamadou Njai, 27 years old. Some of the youth that you said that they brought in. Johnson misses his first shot.
Well, you can see the pressure, and Reggie getting Rashard Lewis getting up into the chest to try to win that leverage game, the physical leverage game with Joe Johnson.
The Triplets seeking the second straight championship appearance again. No Big 3 in the year 2020. Johnson pulling up from 4-point range and a shot clock violation.
Yeah, he's so good at shooting that 4-point shot. If he gets his feet set and shoulders to the basket, that is a makeable shot.
And again, for first-time viewers, all you need is just 1 foot touching one of those 4-point circles, and it'll be worth 4 points. Evans can't get it. Kind of a sloppy and slow start here to begin with. Johnson gets blocked. It never touched the rim, so you can put it right back up, and Rashard Lewis does exactly that.
I think this is a good matchup right here. You know, Rashard is good, he's strong, he's bigger, and he's very physical. But they run a lot of their plays out of this horn set to get Joe the ball.
3-2, the Triplets with the advantage over the three-headed monsters. Again, winner punches its ticket to the championship game, and Johnson, that's where he's so good, backing down Lewis on that possession. Kevin Murphy pulls and fires and hits.
Yeah, that's where Pargo has to decide, am I going under the screen, am I going over the screen? But you just cannot get lined up. As a big, you got to stay attached to the screener.
Murphy had a double-double the last game of the regular season against Ghost Monster. 16 points, 12 rebounds. Here's Johnson, you can't leave him alone, but he's off the mark that time. Offensive rebound, another opportunity. Pargo lets it fly, and he hits from 3.
We talked about their three-point shooting, and they're great at transition, rebound to three-point range.
6 of the first 8 points for the Triplets coming from Pargo. And off the 1 foot, it's good for Murphy.
You know, Pargo's a really good defender. You know, he's coaching in the NBA right now, just got hired by Rick Carlisle with the Indiana Pacers. Very fundamental.
Johnson, still single coverage. He got double teamed quite a bit against Tri-State. Mid-range, cold off. I'm not sure if he exactly wanted that, but it'll count all the same.
Absolutely. I'm not a big fan of pre-switching. I just think sometimes you get lazy when you do that.
Murphy working off of Evans. Reggie Evans missing everything. And Johnson lost it, and the foul committed by Lewis.
When you see Joe Johnson get the basketball, and he's just measuring what you're doing, he saw the switch, and, you know, sometimes you got to be lucky to be good.
Johnson now stepping to the free throw line. 1 shot for 2 points.
And you have to have multiple efforts. You know, offense is multiple actions. Defense is multiple efforts, and that's what you have to have against Joe Johnson.
Played in the NBA for 17 years. And an early advantage here for Lisa Leslie. And the triplets over the three-headed monsters. They've doubled them up, 12-6, the advantage. Tomorrow morning at 7 Eastern, CBS Sports Network brings you one of Europe's most storied rivalries as Rangers and Celtic clash in the Scottish Premiership's Old Firm Derby. Looking forward to that one bright and early, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Triplets have doubled up the three-headed monsters. 12-6 is your score in the first playoff. Winner of this one punches a ticket into next weekend's championship. Let's take a look at the Microsoft Player of the Week. And I think, Nancy Lieberman, it's a guy you know pretty well.
And I'm really proud of Dusan. He came over here. He won the bronze medal at the Olympics in 3-on-3 for Serbia. But he comes here, he gives us everything that he possibly could. He's virtually unstoppable on the court. He's just locked in. He is determined, and he's fearless. So congratulations to Dusan and really all the other players that were just giving their all in week 8.
You didn't hesitate in drafting him this year. No,
Coutinho Mobley really wanted Dusan badly, and we got him, and we're very fortunate.
Again, missing poorly. Out of the timeout, the three-headed monsters, a 6-2 record coming into today. Is the fourth time the charm, though? That's the biggest question. The fourth playoff appearance, that's the most in the Big 3. They gotta get that trophy, looking for that championship this year.
You know, I think this matchup right now with Jefferson on Reggie Evans, Reggie came in late. He really didn't get a chance to shoot or practice yesterday, and you can see he's just a little bit off right now.
We really haven't seen the sharpness from many of these players yet on this court as Murphy gets it. He's looking for his shot.
Well, it's going to be a tough matchup. You know, Pargo is smaller, but he's really good. He's got great footwork, understands angles.
The 7th pick in this year's draft in the first round. No substitutions made here for the triplets. Coming out of it, they wanted a double triple. Reggie Evans trying to plead his case. And Pargo with the three-point attempt.
And no matter what you do, you just cannot stop when the horn goes off. You know, right there, the three-headed monsters all stopped, and Jefferson got the rebound. You got to play through.
Much do the three-headed monsters play to their coach, attitude-wise, emotional-wise?
Oh, without a doubt, they have the disposition, certainly, of Gary Payton.
Evans backing it down, and it's Moon who was just subbed into this game and is whistled for the foul. Gary Payton, the glove. He's coached the three-headed monsters every single year. Gotten to the playoffs every single year. He joked, hey, I know we're going to the Bahamas. I don't plan on missing this year either.
No, and he made a commitment to be the head coach, first-time head coach at Lincoln University. He has scheduled some of the top teams in the nation. He knows, I know we're going to get, you know, kind of crushed, but I'm going to get a name for my university. That's just Gary. He's not afraid of anything.
As we had said, and even the opposing coach here today, Lisa Leslie, has said, and you have said, that they have his heart, and they play to the Gary Payton style. Murphy's numbers here so far, he's been the big scorer for the three-headed monsters here out of the gates. Moon knew that one was off the mark when he shot it, and a shot clock violation.
I'll say since the timeout, the three-headed monsters have hit 2 buckets, gotten to the foul line, and I would just imagine Gary saying, we have got to attack.
This is a matchup to watch. Reggie Evans to Moon. And it'll be triplets basketball off the three-headed monsters.
That was great defense right here by the triplets, and I'm not surprised that Pargo was involved. They are going to double team if Reggie gets the ball down low.
Another foul committed by Rashard Lewis.
You know, that's going to be problematic if the three-headed monsters and somebody like Lewis get in foul trouble right now. You really have to pick your poison. How are you going to play Joe? And if you're going to body him and physical him, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
He's already got 2 personals. You're in this first half. He gets subbed out. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
What a career.
At the young age of 52 years old, still playing. And you said that sometimes you can see him in the morning with you working out, right? At 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
He's unbelievable what he's been able to do. And I watched him yesterday at practice with Kevin Murphy, just working with the rookie and giving him a professional routine.
Rauf takes his first shot. Boone with the rebound, and from the corner, Pargo has been deadly and hits his third three-point shot.
When Pargo's hitting his 3, he's going to stay on the court. When he doesn't, he gets subbed out for like an Allen Anderson.
We have yet to see Allen Anderson right now for the Triplets, the former Michigan State star.
You're going to see right here when the three-pointer in the corner. Watch how quick, well, you didn't get to see it, but the transition by the Triplets is fantastic.
Murphy with the step through. He has shouldered a lot of the scoring here in this first half.
You know, it was interesting. You look at the coach. Lisa was going to put Allen Anderson in the game, and when Pargo hit that 3, it was like, give me a minute. Just take a seat for a minute. But Allen Anderson's been playing great this season, and just what he does when we're not seeing him on the court.
Bounce back and forth between Europe and the U.S., playing in the league for about 8 years, Allen Anderson did.
You know, by and large, the officials have done an amazing job. This is a very physical game. They don't get a lot of credit. Everybody kind of criticizes the officials, but for the Big 3 officials this year, and I know I've probably chewed at a few myself.
You have.
In a nice way, in a respectful way.
Well, an official review here taking place. Looking at who it went off of last.
Ooh, that's tough. That's hard to see, but it's not a surprise that Reggie Evans is in the mix for a rebound. He just has a nose for the ball and is relentless.
You know, one thing about the Big 3 Cube and the organization of this, you talk about the officials, and they will be the first to actually adjust rules sometimes within the season.
Yeah, I think it might end up going to the Triplets, but look, I've been on those coaches' calls where exactly what you just said, where he is so involved and so connected to us as players and coaches, and he will make a rule change if it has to happen. He listens to his captains, and that's a remarkable thing.
Well, their philosophy is if a rule needs to be changed, why wait till the end of the season? We can change it in game. And so, again, one more look at this replay review.
All right, so I was wrong. For the first time this season.
First time for everything. Three-headed monsters get the basketball, the alley-oop. Murphy could have put it away. Johnson trying to take it inside. Moon, he had passed up the three-point shot, and he goes inside for about the 15-footer.
That is made possible because of the transition. This is something they practice. You get the rebound, 2 people get out, and you make the defense have to chase you.
Murphy taking a baseline, Johnson caught him, and Evans with the swat. And again, change of possession, or if it doesn't hit the rim, you don't have to clear the basketball outside of the three-point arc as Kevin Murphy knocks it down.
It's a good battle right here. Excellent battle.
Triplets have had the advantage here in the first half and are +4 here. Pargo looking for his 4th three-point make. Johnson against Evans. Evans and Johnson get tangled up that time. Johnson gets whistled for the foul.
Yeah, that's very personal what we're seeing right here. But you can see Reggie just going after it, made the nice kick-out pass, and the Rook knocking down the three.
You say it's personal between Johnson and Evans.
Absolutely. It's physical, which is, I think Lisa Leslie just did a great job of giving Joe Johnson just a little bit of a blow.
And now we see Alan Anderson in for the first time here for the triplets. The turnaround there for Abdul-Rauf.
And he's just a legend. He was a legend at LSU. He's a great role model in this league, and he's always ready for the moment.
I'd say he won SEC Player of the Year as a freshman back in 1989.
So you can't, you cannot get fouls when the ball is not even in play. You are wasting fouls. You're going to put, the other team on the line and get the ball back if they get in the bonus.
You see Joe Johnson with our graphic there. He picked up his third personal foul, and as long as the triplets have a sub available, that means he's got to sit out the rest of the first half, which could be huge here for the triplets, and this is an area where the three-headed monster's got to take advantage with Johnson out of the game.
I actually like that rule. I didn't like it when it was used against us a couple years ago, but I do believe it's a great rule, and it makes you just have to play clean basketball.
So where do the triplets go here without Joe Johnson in the game?
They are very capable, very capable.
Murphy gets the rebound. Taking it baseline, pump fake, hangs, he draws the foul. Well, Joe Johnson out of the game, significant. You see what he averages tops in the Big 3 this year. In fact, both years where he's played at the Big 3, he's averaged over 20 points per game.
Yeah, but there's a stat that we're not looking at. CBS, we got to get better at this. 6 eyeballs. 6 eyeballs on Joe on every possession. The guy guarding him and the 2 guys off the ball, eyeballs, which allow your other teammates to either cut to the basket or get open.
What kind of graphic would that be, like the eyeball emoji?
Yeah, just 2 eyes maybe blinking at you. He just commands so much of your attention.
Well, a turning point here in this first half for sure. The three-headed monsters now have taken the advantage and part of a 9-0 run, and Evans rips it away. He can go to the rack, and he does for 2.
By the way, I love that part of the game. It's you get the ball, you make a steal, you go right up. That is a huge, huge play in this game.
21-17, Pargo, not that time. Ball hit the rim, so Evans and the three-headed monsters had the clear beyond that three-point arc for all of the first-time viewers watching this one, and a fadeaway off the 1 foot.
Reggie Evans just finding his groove. He must have known Stella. Look, I don't get paid for my humor, and I should.
I get paid for my laughs, though, to your humor.
Thank you.
That's what my producer said. Step through move there for Jefferson, muscling it in.
That's what I'm talking about. I do not like when players pre-switch and then they put their littles. You can't do that. You have to fight over those screens.
6 points, 3 rebounds for Evans. Again, the three-headed monsters just need a bucket to get to halftime. The first to 25.
It's not the shot I would have taken when halftime is just right in front of you.
And we got a foul committed on Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who
that surprises
agree
me.
with it.
No, I see so much going on underneath, and we're talking about how the officials have done a great job. I just would not have called that. That's almost 2 guys going for a ball.
Pargo for 3, and he gets fouled. A possible 4-point play.
Wow, Pargo is so good at understanding space right here. I mean, you have Jefferson going to set the screen, but he was in a rhythm.
so huge. Pargo could tie it up. And a couple of quick fouls from Abdul-Rauf, who's still jawing at the officials.
Well, you have to play the score. You have to understand where you are in the game and what you're trying to accomplish to get to that 25-point mark.
Again, Joe Johnson not available for the rest of the first half. He picked up 3 personal fouls, but Pargo and the Triplets have tied it. Johnson and Moon, they're sitting on the bench, and it's Pargo who's whistled for the foul. Got to be careful not to pick up a technical. You can tell the playoffs are here. Every possession, call, bucket, play.
Well, every point matters. Everything matters in a game like this. So, you know, the coaches are going to continue to have a conversation with the officials, but the players have got to play through the contact.
Abdul-Rauf gets his own miss. That could have ended it for the first half. Again, the first to 25, we get to halftime. Pargo crossing over, step back from the baseline. And the quick hands from Anderson.
It's interesting when the players are telling you to, review it, and then you don't want to review it, but you're asking them to review it. You know, it's such a respect thing, and you know what guys really think, that the review is important, and they're not just saying it emotionally.
About 5 different things that officials can have instant review on, or official review: 3-point or 4-point field goal attempts, out of bounds plays, flagrant fouls, goaltending or basket interference, and possible clearing violations.
Just threw a lot of stuff at me.
It's 5 things. It's like 5-on-5 basketball. Just 5 things.
It's a lot, but they all matter.
That Old Dominion education going to keep you caught up to things.
It is, but you know, this league is based on creativity. It's based on seeing what people are doing and how do you respond to that rule. Look at this right here. This is a great hustle. You know, Alan Anderson just has next level effort. I shared that with him the other day. All he does is play hard.
So this is a triplets coaches challenge, and again, you get 1 per coach per game. Now, if Lisa Leslie and the triplets win this challenge, they get that challenge, they get to keep it, essentially get an additional challenge.
And I don't think he will, because he's coming from behind and he just did a great job of poking the ball out of bounds. You know, Pargo already has 13 points in this game. It's unbelievable how he's playing. 13 of the 23.
He's kept the triplets in this one. The call stands, by the way. And so Lisa Leslie has lost her 1 challenge for the game. Anderson rips it away. Decides to take it baseline. Pargo from 3. The tip in, Jefferson not there the second time. And we have a traveling violation. Officials rebounded the ball, came down, and when he came down, he walked with it. Had to take a dribble. Still tied at 23. Evans wants his team to clear out. They poke it away, and Anderson, the tip for Jefferson. That could be a goaltending. Count the bucket. We're at halftime.
I tell you what, Reggie Evans has got to stop just pounding the ball, because there's a guard just waiting on his blind side. I know it ended with a goaltending, but he's got to feel somebody there. The ball gets taken away. He's trying to be physical. and the goaltending sends the Triplets up at halftime.
But an impressive response from the Triplets after losing the leading scorer in the league in Joe Johnson after picking up 3 personal fouls. Guess what? They're the first to 25. 25 to 23 is your halftime score. We'll return to the Bahamas after a word from your local station.
Check the roster, got a 3-head monster, now I'm killing 3.
The Big 3 on CBS Sports is sponsored by PNC Bank, changing how you handle overdrafts with low cash mode.
First game of the playoffs. It got really interesting, especially in the final few minutes of the first half. Triplets with the 25 to 23 advantage. Get official Big 3 merch at store.big3.com for league and team apparel, including jerseys, hats, and jackets. Get it all at store.big3.com. Lisa Leslie, we got her mic'd up in the first half.
So it's our ball right now. Let's do what we do. Hey, it may not start out the way we want. Let's not get out hustled. How you doing? So with them right now, Evans is still on the floor. We could go small, but that would put Joe on Evans. He has 2 fouls, so that's 2 dangers right now. That's all I'm looking for, just some 16, 17 footers. Perfect.
Nancy Lieberman, Lisa Byington kind of stay the course right through the first half. That was her message, it sounded like.
Well, I thought what Lisa did was absolutely perfect. Her tone, her tenor with the players, she showed calm, and she just said, look, this is what's happening right now. We're okay. And she's just asking them to give what they can.
They were the first to 25, even playing without Joe Johnson, a significant part of that first half. So ISO Joe out for the first half with just the 6 points after picking up the 3 personals.
Well, what you got it, it's a team game, and that's where, Gennaro Pargo just stepped up. He's got 13 points, played really well. I thought that Jefferson did a fantastic job on Reggie Evans in the beginning of this basketball game.
8 points, 4 rebounds for Reggie Evans, but it was Pargo who kind of set the tone and took over in the absence of Joe Johnson.
Well, you have to know where your teammates get their job done, and he does it behind the 3-point line. He's got his feet set. He's in rhythm. It's just beautiful when you have that lift on your shot and that follow through.
And John Sally is standing by with Pargo.
What's the deal?
2 tough teams playing their heart out. It's going to come down to who wanted the most. That's simple. Who wanted the most?
Who wanted the most? Well, I see they got Al on the bench.
They got who on the
They
bench?
got Big Al Jefferson on the bench. They had Joe on the bench. You just took over.
Total team effort. This ain't Joe Johnson. This ain't me. This ain't Al. It's the Triplets.
All right,
We play together. We win together. We lose together.
25 more points, Coach.
Yes, sir.
John Sally referencing Al Jefferson, not going to start here this second half. He stands at 6'10". Alan Anderson instead. No, I guess Jefferson is coming out here. Threw us for a curve there. Jefferson looked like he wasn't going to come out to play, so we got the same starters here for both of these teams to begin that second half.
Yeah, it's a better matchup with Jefferson on the floor with Reggie Evans.
Pargo getting locked up arm in arm with Rashard Lewis.
And that'll happen every now and again with him because teams will try to post him up and force that switch.
Lewis looking for it, being defended by Johnson. It's Murphy at 11 points there in the first half. He's got 13 for the game.
Yeah, that's just a tough guard. For everything that Pargo does on the offensive, he can be exposed defensively.
We showed you his numbers. 3rd best in the Big 3 this year for Kevin Murphy. He gets about 20 per game. He got another one here.
Well, you can see the post-up that we've been talking about.
Joe Johnson, just 6 points. 3 rebounds, a couple of assists there in the first half, trying to go to work. We got a foul committed there on the floor. It's going against Kevin Murphy.
You know what this game is going to come down to is 50-50 balls. Who's going to box out? Who's going to be willing to lay out and get one of those loose balls? You have to be ready. You have to be alert.
Pargo off the back iron. Jefferson chasing it down. Murphy for three. Had one of those in the first half. And another foul on the floor. That going against Pargo.
Just love the intensity. This is exactly what the Big Three is. If you're watching for the first time, you're seeing amazing athletes just working on their game, just attacking and going after it.
From the Bahamas, Nancy Lieberman, Lisa Byington, John Sally on the sideline. Jefferson, a little and one.
You can't be loose with the basketball. You better play through contact, or you're going to get it, you're going to lose it, and somebody else is going to pick it up and go right up the way Jefferson did right there.
He's got one free throw coming up. He's been working the boards, 9 rebounds here in this game.
And that's a ticky-tack foul. Oh my gosh, it drives me crazy, that little waving or slapping when they're bodying each other up.
And usually Big Three let them play a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big game. You know, you got to call the ones that you see, but you can't let those little ticky-tack things influence you.
Reggie Evans, of course, one of the more physical players. Big Three basketball. Looking inside, Lewis to the mid-post to Evans. Back to Murphy with a pull-up. They got him. And one.
It's a beautiful play. A lot of patience right there, making the extra pass. And you got that clock in your head. There's only 14 seconds, so you got to know what's happening.
Kevin Murphy, loving when it's off time. I mentioned that he was 7th overall in this year's draft. His first playoff appearance. When it gets to the championship next weekend here in the Bahamas.
Boy, you got to make your foul shots. It is so costly when you miss it. Mahmoud missed his one in the, to send it to 25 in the first half, and now this.
To begin first to 50. Wins it, you got to win by 2. Johnson looking to take Lewis off the bounce. Johnson with the back down, turnaround. And he'll have a free throw for 2 points coming up.
I'm still surprised that they're not stunting at Joe Johnson when he's in the lane. Watch how many dribbles he's taken right here. 4, 5, 6 dribbles. You have got to send somebody. That's Murphy, you got to go. You got to give your some help.
$30 points now for the triplets. Murphy with the crossover, challenging Jefferson in for 2.
Boy, when he's coming downhill at that speed and that athleticism to the rim, it even puts a big on their heels.
You talk to Gary Payton, Rashard Lewis. The captain's speed is one of the reasons why they wanted to draft Kevin Murphy this year. Anderson getting some early second half playing time, finding Johnson. Into the lane, not there. Murphy gets the screen. Mismatch, pull up, it's good.
Murphy, absolutely on fire.
Well, the rookie's going to have to start taking over this game. If Joe Johnson is going to do that for the triplets, then he's going to have to match him.
Johnson with the step-back move. Tough game so far for the best scorer in the Big Three this year. Back down move. Jefferson gets it.
That's why you always have to have somebody on that weak side rebounding just in case there's a loose ball or an air ball. That's the second time the triplets have taken advantage of a loose ball and gone back up.
So Pargo out right now. He's the leading scorer for the triplets with 13 points, getting a breather. And again, a tie up underneath the basket. It's Alan Anderson and Rashard Lewis. And it'll be Anderson who's whistled for the foul.
And really, that's what Rashard Lewis has to do on every play, is get down to the block, turn around, square up, and make them defend you.
Rashard Lewis, the team's leading scorer back in 2019. Just had to deal with some injuries back on that 2018 year. We will take a 30-second timeout. It is nip and tuck, just the way we like it in the first playoff game. Here from the Bahamas, who's going to get to the championship? Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS returns with a preseason finale featuring two of the most intriguing teams this upcoming season. The Dolphins head to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Our live coverage begins tomorrow at 4 Eastern here on CBS. College football getting underway today. The NFL preseason soon to be the games that count. And football is back here in the fall as the Big 3 wraps up its final few weekends. Out of that timeout, it's Lewis who throws a three-point shot.
It's really a nice play that Gary Payton drew up. If you are on Reggie Evans' side, it's like a wall. Just get behind it and use your range.
This is a former Iowa Hawkeye product, arguably the best rebounder in Big 3 history. Maybe one of the best screeners, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Murphy with the take all the way for two.
You know, that was really a nice play by the Monsters. There was so much congestion with Moon and Joe Johnson. Everybody forgot. You got Murphy going to the basket.
Remember, the Triplets are your defending Big 3 champions. Joe Johnson has a little bit of an off afternoon here so far as that shot is off.
That's the shot I would make Joe take every time. I would play him arm's length. If nobody's coming, make him shoot the two.
Gary Payton and the Monsters got to the championship in 2017, to the semis in 2018 and 2019. They finished 3rd and 4th in those years.
As big and strong as Reggie Evans is, I don't like him taking those little fadeaways around the rim. You got to put your shoulder down and attack the basket.
Anderson pulls up for three. Murphy thinks about it and pulls the trigger. Quick decision. Another three-point shot for Kevin Murphy.
It's a good timeout.
The Triplets down by 7, and Lisa Leslie has to call the timeout.
Kevin Murphy just taking over right now. He knows that he might be a rookie, but he has to be the man in the Big 3 for three-headed Monsters.
This is our first playoff game. Winner of this one gets to the championship. Again, the first 250 and win by 2. Three-headed Monsters with a +7 advantage. And each week, fans can help select the Microsoft Big 3 Player of the Week. You can go online to big3.com or Big 3 social media accounts to vote. We will reveal the results from the semifinals announced next week on Championship Saturday. And Joe Johnson, ISO Joe, looking for some buckets. Hard to come by. 2 of 12 shooting.
Yeah, it's been a tough go in the first and second half for him. He's only been to the foul line 2 times. But he's settling for that outside shot instead of getting right here down on the block and then using his moves and his counter moves.
Johnson coming off a 16-point, 8-rebound performance week 8 against Tri-State. Double-teamed many times in that game, but starting out here in the playoffs, this is a surprising performance to me.
It is, because he has not even been double-teamed. See, that was a great play, the little hedge and recovered by Reggie Evans.
There's Johnson to give it up. Anderson with the one-dribble pull-up. And here's Murphy leading all scorers right now with 24 points. Kevin Murphy to Lewis for 3. And Murphy gets hacked by Moon on the rebound. think the feel for Gary Payton and this team was to not double-team Joe Johnson and play him the way they're playing him today?
He is just relying on, making him shoot the shot over you and not around you. But, here's a crucial part of the game. The Triplets has 5 fouls. One more foul by the Triplets, and I'm sure Gary's letting his team know, not only do you make the shot, but then you get the ball back, so you just have to be careful.
16 fouls are in the bonus, and there it is.
That's a smart play. You send your little screening. Watch this right here. Murphy's going to go set the screen, and it's going to force. It's going to turn around and force Allen Anderson to guard him.
So again, as you said, if Lewis makes this free throw, one shot for 2 points, they get the ball right back.
And they take possessions away from Joe Johnson.
First to 50, win by 2.
And I would run similar plays like that until the Triplets prove that they can stop it. I wouldn't take a lot of outside shots. I'd do exactly what they're doing.
Lewis turns and faces, fires, and hits.
And they get the ball back, and I would do the same thing again. You're going to see Lewis, former MVP of this league, just use some of those ball fakes. He's such a fabulous shooter, and you can't block his shot. It's like trying to guard Kevin Durant. He just shoots over you. You don't realize how big Rashard Lewis is until you actually are standing next to him.
Listed at 6'10". Of course, part of that NBA championship team with Miami back in 2013. 16 seasons in the NBA.
This is where you got to really play smart, strategic basketball. Stay with the game plan.
Another possession for the Monsters. Keeping it out of the hands offensively for the Triplets. Fade away, nothing. But Kevin Murphy is having himself a game. 19-2 run, and the Monsters at that 46 points.
You don't have to foul. All you want to do is make Joe play in traffic.
Ripped away that time. Lewis for 2, drops it in. A bucket away from the championship.
One basket away from the Big 3 championship.
The Triplets, the defending Big 3 champions from the year 2019, the last year the Big 3 played. Pargo for 3. They need to find some offense, and he gets fouled.
And that, you got to stay locked in. You cannot let that happen. You have a big lead, but as a coach, you know better.
And Pargo will have one shot from there. And we are going to have our first bring the fire moment in this game. Our Taco Bell bring the fire, the new rule implemented this year in the Big 3 basketball. A challenge of a shooting foul. That means both players involved will go one-on-one. He's got 10 seconds to try to get a shot off. And this will count as 3.
And I'm happy Taco Bell did that because I like a hard taco. I don't like the soft shell taco. I like meat in my taco. And I love this rule.
And I like the hot sauce, I'm going to guess.
Oh, no, I'm mild sauce.
Oh, that's surprising. Pargo, again, 10 seconds to get it off. Fade away, he hit it. A huge bucket and moment for the Triplets.
Yeah, Pargo used every one of his moves and counter moves. But to get this shot, look at this. Comes back, he attacks, then he steps back, and the lift on his shot over Lewis was fabulous.
Again, each coach has one choice to bring the fire per half. And since Pargo, for the first time, viewers, was fouled on a 3-point shot, that bring the fire was worth 3 points.
Well, this is where one team has a big lead. Sometimes you let down mentally, and another team is just grinding because every possession means something.
Johnson rips it away. Pargo with the pump fake. Into the corner, didn't have an angle, still got the shot off. And the Triplets are going for 3. A bucket, and the Monsters are in the championship.
I would not do this. I would just...
You saw that from the start.
There's no reason for Reggie Evans to be handling the ball there. Put it back in the hands of your guard and post up. Go to your strength, not your secondary move.
We got a 30-second timeout here coming up. 3 seconds on the shot clock. The Monsters are just that close from a trip to the championship. We'll be back. Nancy Lieberman, Lisa Byington, John Sally on the sideline for the first playoff game to get to the championship. You see 26 points, our star comparison. Kevin Murphy has brought it. And Joe Johnson has had a rough go of it. 3 personal fouls that he picked up in the first half.
Joe Johnson gets out of bed and has double figures in scoring, and he only has 8 points that I have right now in the game. He's been everything to this team and, quite frankly, to the league. When you look at your MVPs, they are that for a reason.
And they were reviewing that out-of-bounds play. And again, that's one of the 5 things the officials can go to the monitor to review. And if you're the Triplets, you got 3 seconds here on the shot clock. And again, a bucket puts the Monsters in the championship.
Well, they have to make a quick move.
To Reggie Evans. 2 on the shot clock. Reggie Evans being defended by Moon that time in a shot clock violation.
Reggie, I love you, but that's not your play and that's not your shot. You've got to put the right people in the right place for that, and that's a Lewis play.
Triplets need a bucket. They go for 3. Pargo! That's a 4-point shot. And a huge one, the first of the game.
He said, I want 4 points.
Can the Triplets hold off the Monsters?
Well, they can. They certainly have the talent and the shooters to do this, and I give them credit for how they're playing. They're champions, and they're playing like champions.
Murphy looking for the win, not there. And a foul committed on Lewis that time.
Go to the basket. You don't have to shoot fadeaway plays.
This is shocking. You need 2 points to win it. And the Monsters have had their possessions to do exactly that.
It's like I said before, you know, sometimes when you're a team, you lose your concentration because you, the player, think you have it. When you see this play here, there's no reason for Murphy. Oh, that's the 4-point play by Pargo.
It is a battle.
30 feet out from the bucket. Those 4-point circles.
You just have to have a foot touch.
Someone's going to the Big 3 Championship real soon.
3-minute Monsters looking to take down the defending champs, the Triplets.
And I'll say this, if you foul, now they have the same opportunities.
Evans, the kick out to Kevin Murphy. Murphy sends the Monsters to the championship.
That was a heck of a play. That was a great play by Reggie Evans. You know, he never gets a lot of credit for his passing, but that was on time, on target.
Fitting that the star of the game for the 3-headed Monsters, the rookie in the Big 3 this year, hitting the big shot to send them to the championship.
Well, his veteran said, you have to be the man.
That's the end of the game. Monsters in the championship. Stay tuned for our next game. It'll be Trilogy against Tri-State. You're watching the Big 3 Playoffs presented by Verizon.